It's just fully being present, fully being here. And again, going back to Claire's word, I really love the word awareness, because what is more fundamental to our experience now than the fact of being aware? To give an example of that, if we were to remove awareness itself, would we even know that anything is here? If we were to remove awareness itself. And so obviously awareness is fundamental. And so if you start thinking about the word fundamental, that sounds an awful lot like source. And each of us has that within us. The source, which we experience and call awareness. Oftentimes in meditation, people have all these techniques to progressively get them to themselves. And all of the techniques are wonderful and helpful, and if that's something that you're using and you find value in it, keep doing it. But in these meditations, rather than spending time focusing on the breath, chanting mantras, sitting in the perfect position, which is all examples of the individual's path. We just go directly there. We bypass the moon because we're wanting to embody the sun. And so we go directly to the fact of being aware. And the body may be sitting in a specific posture. We're aware of that. It has no implication on awareness. Just as the position of the moon has no implication on the sun. We may also be aware of breathing. Although breathing has no implication on awareness. It simply is aware of breathing. Breathing doesn't cause awareness. Awareness is always present. Just as the position of the moon, the dust on the surface, the way it's reflecting light, doesn't cause the sun. So to spend time perfecting the surface of the moon in order to find the reality of the light would be an indirect path. Here, we're going directly to the sun. The fact of being aware. What is that? Being aware. Just as the eyeball can't see itself, awareness can't see itself yet. It is aware that it is. When the eye looks at, say, a coffee cup, it doesn't see itself. It sees the coffee cup. But yet the eye, or you, can know you're seeing. And therefore don't mistake yourself for what you see, the coffee cup. So is true with who you are, the most fundamental part of yourself. The most fundamental part of yourself, being aware. It doesn't overlook or mistake itself to be the individual. Awareness is always simply being aware. It is aware that it is. This is the direct path versus the path of the individual, which inherently requires time to fix, change, become worthy, capable, able to meditate, to relax, to find ourselves. But the self that is inevitably found was right there the whole time, through all of the fixing, through all of the changing, through all of the becoming more worthy, capable, able. So why not go directly to that which is always there? The fact of being aware or being conscious. And as we allow this consciousness to rest on the individual, we might inquire about what this individual is made up of. What is the substance that this individual is made up of? If you, as fundamental awareness, are the source, then what is referred to as the individual seems like would have to be made from and the same substance as that source. So as you, pure awareness, the most fundamental thing in existence, rests upon what you refer to as the individual, inquire. What is this individual really made from? What is the substance? Could the individual be made up of a different substance than its source? You, pure awareness, pure consciousness. Or is this individual just a modulation of pure awareness, of pure consciousness? Never truly becoming something other than its source. So again, you as the fundamental awareness in existence, the fact of being aware, rests upon the individual, which is experienced as sensation, or a thought, or sound. These are qualities that we might correlate with the individual. The sensation of a body, a thought, or perhaps the sounds we hear might indicate to us individuality. Whatever's currently present in your experience now that you might correlate to being an individual. Bring your fact of being aware to it. Rest it upon it. And ask yourself, could this sense of individuality, a body, its thoughts, be made up of a different substance than its source? Or would it have to be the same substance? Just a modulation of it. A modulation of the same one thing. Pure consciousness. You. The you, so fundamental that there's only one in existence. And we, fundamentally, are all that. Going back to yourself as pure awareness. How could something exist independent from and of a different substance than its source? The mind creates distinctions between the source, and its apparent manifestations, yourself as an individual. But does such distinctions exist without reference to the mind? Without reference to the mind, is there a separation, a distinction between yourself as pure awareness and the individual it is aware of? Of course not. No such distinction can be found. Yourself as the fundamental awareness and existence source is not distinct from what you refer to as an individual. They're inseparable. They are made up, the individuality is made up of and of the same substance as its source. This is the direct path. Remembering who you are as the fundamental awareness of existence. Which we all are. It is the same fundamental awareness and existence, which is why it's called Source. We are all that. And there's only one. There's only light. And go ahead and take a moment to ask yourself a final contemplative question. What would be most helpful to know moving forward? What in your days and week ahead would be most helpful to keep in mind moving forward? Take a moment and become clear on that answer for yourself. What would be most helpful moving forward? And if you are clear on your answer or takeaway, at that point only, begin to bring yourself as pure, fundamental awareness back to itself. The individuality which has borrowed its reality from yourself as fundamental awareness. And bring yourself back to your body, thoughts, each other, and the conversation. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, feel free to take in a deep breath. And open your eyes.